Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a little bit of a different video. We're not going to be playing any games today. Instead, we're going to be ranking them. We are going to be ranking all of the Sims 4 packs, the expansion packs, the game packs, the stuff packs, the kits, all of them. I don't know exactly who to credit for this video because I know this is a big trend in the Sims community to rank all the packs and everything, but I don't know who originally started it. I'm really excited to do this. I'm a little bit nervous because sometimes the Sims community can get quite heated with opinions. So do remember this is just my opinion and, no opinion is wrong. We are allowed to disagree when it comes to Sims game, In fact, I'd love to see what you lot rate the packs as well. So if you want to ever do this yourself, I've got the link in the description box and you can post them in the Discord if you want to. Another quick disclaimer is that the two newest packs aren't on the list at the moment. I'll be adding them manually through editing later on, but I'll still rank them, of course. That is the Courtyard Oasis one and the interior one. Okay, so this is the ranking system I'm going to use. I'm going to quickly edit this and change it to no. Just no. I think. I think that's how we're going to have the headers. All these other ones are fine. So obviously need it is the top, like my absolute, I need this, otherwise I can't play the game. And then it goes all the way down to no, just no. Basically, delete this pack, delete it from existence. I never want to see it again. No, it's not allowed in my game, even though I probably have it because I have all the packs bar one. But still. So I think this tier list was made by Spring Sims down here. So credit to Spring Sims for making this. Thank you very much. And also credit to Panda Plumbobs on Tumblr. I'll have this link down below. Okay, should we just begin? I'm nervous. Okay, base game. Base game I'm going to put as good because obviously technically you need it to play the game, but if I'm rating base game, I would say it's good. If you asked me to rate this a few years ago and when Sims first came out, base game would have been like, no, it's unplayable. Take me back to The Sims 3, please. But I think it's improved a lot. I think they've really made a lot of good changes, positive changes to the game. However, it's still really limited in gameplay. I can't imagine just playing base game. I think it would be really, really bland. Your gameplay would probably be pretty bland and repetitive. I don't think I would be able to play it for very long. I think the longevity of it is just not there yet. So I'm going to put it as good. It's a great base game, but I don't think it really is a complete game on its own. Do you know what I mean? I think it needs the expansion packs. And to be honest, a game shouldn't really need expansion packs to be good. So we're going to put it as good. There's some good things about it. It's not perfect. Also, the build and buy has definitely improved. Oh, another quick disclaimer as well. I meant to say this at the beginning, but I'm primarily a builder, so all of these packs are probably going to be rated mostly from a building perspective, just because I primarily build in The Sims. I do obviously do gameplay. I have the Whimsy Story Challenge that I'm currently working through, and I also do 100 Baby Challenge over on my Twitch, so I do a little bit of gameplay. I dabble in gameplay, but it's not really how I've explored most of these packs. A lot of these packs I haven't explored through gameplay, but mostly through build and buy. The rating for me might be a little bit different to people who focus mostly on CAS or gameplay. So yeah, tiny disclaimer there. Get to work. Okay, well this is a really early pack. It kind of feels unfair to judge it against the newer packs because obviously they've improved vastly. I think I'm going to rate Get to Work as okay, just because it is older and you can tell. But honestly, I think that's good. I think it's good that you can tell which packs are older and which ones are newer because that shows that there's been growth there. But yeah, Get to Work, I really like the careers. I really, really do find them fun. I think they do have quite a bit of longevity. Obviously you wouldn't use them for every playthrough. I still enjoy doing them and I've done them a couple times. It was good for its time. I think back then, I think this would have been a way more impressive pack, but nowadays with all the packs that we've had since, I do think it's lower on the list for me. Get Together. Okay, Get Together for me is a need it purely for Windenburg. Windenburg is my absolute favourite world in the whole of The Sims. I absolutely love it. It's stunning. It's got so many lots. I love the bluffs. I think it's the perfect place to go for a date with your Sims. That sounds like I'm dating my Sims. I meant for my Sims to go on a date together. But yeah, I think Windenburg is literally my favourite world. There's a lot of build items that I still really love, and the club system is really cool. I really like Get Together, so it's a need it for me. City Living. City Living for me is going to go in good. I think that it's a good pack. I really like the events. They do get a little bit repetitive, I can't lie, but I do enjoy them. I really love the introduction of apartments. They're very cool. And I really do like the fact that you can get rats and that you can have building problems and you have to report them to your landlord. I think that's really cool too. And also the noisy neighbours aspect. I think that gave a lot of life to the game. And usually in The Sims 4, it feels like the rest of the world, there's no life. Like outside of your household, it feels like it's very stagnant. So I do like that the neighbours are like arguing and you can knock on the door and tell them off and stuff like that. I think that gives a lot of life to the world around you, which is very cool. The build and buy was also really good, especially for its time. We got a load of items with City Living and I still use them to this day. I still really love apartments as well. I love furnishing apartments. So City Living is honestly a solid pack and I really do enjoy it. So it's good. It's good. I kind of feel harsh. I honestly feel like I should put it in Love It. Heck it. Yeah, we'll put it in Love It. Love it. We love City Living. It's great. I'm so indecisive. Another little disclaimer. I'm extremely indecisive. So yeah, that's me. Cats and dogs. Okay. This is a hard one. I'm going to put as Love It. I love the cats and dogs. I think they're very, very cute. My one biggest problem with cats and dogs is that it should have been a pets pack. I feel like I'm a broken record at this point because so many people in the Sims community have said the same thing and it's honestly probably boring to hear by now, but I feel like this pack was limited by it just being cats and dogs. I think it should have had other pets in it. Obviously, it should have had My First Pet stuff also included in it. I can't love it as much as I want to because of that. Like, I just feel like that was such a drawback for it. But the world is stunning. Brindleton Bay is beautiful. I love playing it, especially that little beach lot, you know, the small one where the beach is connected to it. That's my favourite lot ever. And also the build and buy was stunning. I think it went so well with Seasons as well. And for the longest time, Cats and Dogs and Seasons were my favourite expansion packs. So I feel like I have to rate it high on this list. Speaking of Seasons, I'm going to put in Need It. I feel like this expansion pack is without a doubt the most influential on gameplay. I think it literally changes the way you play the game, genuinely. Like, if you think back to before we had Seasons, every day was the same. There was no like difference. Like, days would come and go and you wouldn't really be able to notice anything changing, and I think so much of that is down to the weather. I really love this pack, and again, I think it goes really well with the build items from Cats and Dogs, and I love these two packs together. It is sad that Seasons didn't get a world. I don't think it got a world. No, Seasons didn't get a world, right? I don't think so. I can't remember. But yeah, I would have liked to see a world with it, but I think we got so much stuff with it. We got the whole calendar system, which I really like, and we got Winterfest and events and all that sort of thing, so they're really good. I do wish that Winterfest and some of the events had more to them. Sometimes they're a little bit flat, and oftentimes I ignore them in my gameplay. Like, I'm just like, oh, Harvest Fest, who cares? I'll maybe make a meal, but that's it. So I do wish there was a little bit more there. I think Seasons is definitely a need it, especially if you're into gameplay. I think it makes such a difference. It makes a difference for every playthrough. Do you know what I mean? Like, every playthrough that you ever do, you will encounter Seasons, and I think that's what makes it a need it. Speaking of a one that doesn't change it for every playthrough, Get Famous. For me, Get Famous is only okay because I haven't really used this pack that much. I can't lie, I'm not a big fan of the fame thing. All the like UI looks really good and impressive, and I like that you can get the perks and everything. I think it's a cool pack. I think the world really let it down as well. The world was so small and such little lots, and the builds themselves were disgusting. And also the build and buy, I honestly don't use that much either because it's quite flashy, it's quite in your face and glamorous, and that's not really my build style, but that's just personal preference. Okay, for me, Island Living would go to good. I really like Island Living. I think it's a really cool pack. The build and buy is absolutely stunning. We got so many good build and buy items. We got a whole new style of building with this pack, which I really appreciated, especially as a builder. Like, that is one of my favorite things, is to have a new style introduced to the building, so it challenges us and like makes us build different things. I really thought it was cool how we could build on beaches and have things go over the water. We also got ladders around this time. I really love the jet ski. I love that you can go into the water. That was such a big deal when that came out. Like, being able to swim in the water was so freaking cool. Mermaids, I don't really use all that much. I'm not the biggest fan of occult sims, which I feel like is really controversial, but I just don't use occult that much. I'm sorry, please don't come for me. Mermaids were really not that impressive compared to vampires. Like, vampires were so fleshed out. We'll get onto vampires later, obviously, but mermaids were very lacking, especially considering it was an expansion pack. However, the world of Sulani is absolutely stunning. I love building in that world. So University is kind of the same thing for me. I'm going to put it as a good pack. I can't lie, I haven't really played with it that much. I haven't actually ever sent a sim off to university, which I really should do. I kind of want to do a playthrough of that because I think I'd really enjoy it. The university, from what I've seen, it looks challenging. It looks like it's really hard to get your sim to graduate with a good grade, and that's good. Like, I like that. Overall, this pack was amazing. The cast that we got with this pack was so good. The build and buy was so cute. Those little cactus plants, you know the ones. They are so, so cute. Kind of want to rate it higher. I feel like good isn't high enough. university. No. I'm gonna rate it good, because the thing is, like, I'm trying to think with my ratings is the longevity of the packs, like the replayability of it, and number 2 is the versatility of the build and buy, because obviously I'm primarily a builder, as I said. I think the build and buy is very versatile from this pack, but the longevity of the gameplay, I think once you've done university once or twice, you probably aren't going to want to send your sim there every single playthrough, so I think it is a little bit limited in that respect. I think it's very cool though, and it is cool how it bumps your career up afterwards and like all that sort of thing, but yeah, I think I'm going to leave it as good. Eco lifestyle, or eco living, I still don't know the actual name of it. The eco pack, I'm going to put as love. I absolutely love the eco pack. I think it's a really, really good pack. The build and buy is stunning. We got so many build and buy items with this, and again, quite a unique style. Also, a lot of stuff with the gameplay. Like, what I really like about eco as well in terms of gameplay is that it's difficult. I really like having a freaking challenge in this game. Like, my bills are always going up because I can't upgrade things well enough to make them eco appliances, and it's frustrating, don't get me wrong, but it's also really cool. I also love that the world changes, like, with your actions. I like the world that came with eco as well. The one thing I don't like is the neighborhood action plans. I find them really confusing and really annoying, honestly, and yeah, I tend to just try and ignore them as much as I can. I really like the whole being able to create your own furniture that came with it. So cool. I really loved that with eco, like being able to dumpster dive and then turn it into bits and pieces and like make things from it and then dye the things. I just think that's really, really cool. So that's why I'm rating it. I love it. Snowy Escape, on the other hand, I'm going to rate as good. It doesn't have massive replayability for me. I think the build and buy was amazing. It introduced a whole new style and culture to build and buy, which I really, really appreciated. I thought the world was absolutely stunning. I thought just all the builds were amazing because obviously they were built by simmers. It was a really good turning point to start getting simmers to build the lots in the game. I thought that was such a cool idea. But yeah, I think other than the world being beautiful and the build and buy being beautiful, there isn't a lot to do in that world. I think it's one of those things where it's an expansion pack, but I wouldn't play in that world all the time, and I think you have to kind of go out of your way to experience it rather than it be like right on your doorstep like Seasons, you know? And I think that's why I'd rate it lower in the list, but it is still a really beautiful pack, and I think if you're a builder, I really do recommend this pack because it gives you so many new items. This is the free pack, right? I'm just gonna rate this okay because I don't really remember what comes with it. I think you get Christmas trees or something, so that's great. I mean, it's free, so yeah, no, it's okay. Outdoor retreat for me is a hard one because I love the concept of this pack. I love the idea of going camping with your family. I think that's so fun. I love camping, so this is like such a beautiful pack to me, but it just is very lacking. But I'm gonna rate it good because I wish there was more. I wish that once you went camping there was stuff to do, because honestly once you get there there's really not a lot to do. You can forage, you can set up a bonfire, but like those are things you can do back home, like in your normal playthrough. Like this is supposed to be a holiday, it's supposed to feel like you're on holiday and do something different. I wish that there was some form of like water sports. How fun would that be if you could go like on a paddle boat and like go out with your family? To me, camping holidays would be about doing activities together with the family, and I think that's what this is lacking. It's a beautiful world, it has beautiful build and buy. I love the concept of camping, it's really, really cool, but there's just nothing else once you get there. Okay, spa day for me is a big old meh. This pack I never use, I can't lie. I don't think I've ever sent a sim to the spa. Like, the build and buy are nice items, but they're not my style. They're very modern. I don't use them very often. The only thing I do like about this pack, I think yoga came with this pack, and I think the wellness skill came with this pack, and I absolutely love those two additions to the game, but the pack itself, it's not that worth buying for me personally. Dine Out for me would be a good pack. The concept of it is like the coolest thing ever. I love the idea of being able to send my sims to the restaurant for like celebrating like graduation or first dates. I think it's so cool. It really enhances gameplay, but it just doesn't work that well. And this is the sad thing, is that this pack, if it had been fixed and the bugs had been fixed, this pack would rate way higher. It'd probably be love it. I don't think that your sim should have to spend an entire day waiting for their food. This is like a hopeful rating of good, but honestly the gameplay currently how it stands would probably be like okay, because I just don't use it. I never use this because of how broken it is, and that's the saddest thing. For me, Vampires is gonna rate okay. This is just based on how I play the game, because Vampires is such a good pack. Objectively, and if I wasn't putting my opinion on it, it would be a good pack, definitely. Like, it's so good. The vampires themselves for Occult Sims, they are so fleshed out. Like, there's so much to them. There's like a whole system, like a point system. They have consequences if they go out in the sun. Like, it's so cool. But I just don't really like Occult Sims, and I don't play with them very often, so I just don't use this pack myself. So I'm rating it okay. I am gonna rate Parenthood okay. I feel like this one might be a little bit controversial because a lot of people love Parenthood. Now, don't get me wrong, I love and wish we had more family gameplay. That is the number one thing I want in The Sims, is more family gameplay. Parenthood was not that for me, to be honest. When I think of Parenthood, all I think is that notice board. That's all I can remember from Parenthood. I know we got the notice board where you can like set curfew and stuff. Other than that, what is there? My favourite counters do come from Parenthood, to be fair. Like the kitchen stuff from Parenthood, the build and buy in general from Parenthood was so good. It makes me want to rate it higher for the build and buy. Do you know what the biggest The biggest problem that I have with Parenthood is that it was a game pack. I wish that this was an expansion pack with all my being. I just wish it was an expansion pack so that it could have gone further and had more to it. Like, if this is the only family gameplay that we get in The Sims, hopefully it won't be, but if it is, I'm gonna be so sad. I don't know, to me it's such a lacking pack and it could have been so much more. I need to remind myself it is only a game pack, but I wish it was expansion so bad. I think the mana system that it introduced is really good. They're really hard to achieve. I'm always struggling with them on my 100 baby challenge. I can never get their manners up and stuff. I think with Parenthood I was expecting so much more. I was really excited for it, and when it came out I was like, there's not a lot to do, so it's a bit of a letdown, which I hate saying because I feel like I wish I loved this pack. Jungle Adventure, I'm gonna put as love it. I adore the build and buy. The plants are so amazing. Like, I use them all the time. This build and buy is probably one of my favorite in the whole game, and I think it's perfect for a game pack. Like, it adds something to the game and adds a whole new world to the game, but it's not as much as an expansion pack. Like, this, to me, this is the definition of how much a game pack should give us. Like, it gave us a whole new world, it gave us a whole new career, it gave us like a holiday, things to do, and loads and loads of build and buy. Strangerville. Okay, Strangerville for me, I'm gonna rate okay. Now, the only reason it's rated so highly is because of the windows and doors. Strangerville itself, I'm not that taken by. Like, I haven't played the intended storyline with Strangerville, but I have watched it being played. The world is absolutely beautiful and the windows and doors are stunning. They are my favourite windows and doors in the whole game. I love the swatches of them and everything, and that is the only reason it's rated so high. Okay, Realm of Magic for me is also okay. I really love the idea that we could be a spellcaster, but I just think it was a bit flat for me. I don't use this pack as much as I wish I did. I also do think like replayability is quite lacking, and the versatility of the build and buy is quite lacking too. Like, they're very magical looking, which is great for this pack, but like, I just don't use the items all that much in my other gameplays. Do you know what? I'm gonna rate it good instead. I feel a bit guilty because I did enjoy this pack. I just don't use it all that much anymore. Yeah, it's just the replayability. I don't think it has a lot of replayability, but it's a good pack, and it is only a game pack as well, so I think you can be a little bit more lenient on it. And it did bring us a new world and the like kind of witchy world too, so it gave us kind of two new worlds, but to me it's a good pack. Unlike Batu, which I'm gonna rate no, just no, delete it off the surface of the planet, like goodbye Batu. So firstly, I'm not a Star Wars fan, so of course this pack was gonna be rated low for me. I wasn't the intended audience of this pack because I don't like Star Wars. So obviously if you like Star Wars and you like this pack, that's amazing. I'm so happy you like it because someone should. Please, someone enjoy this pack because I'm not that someone. But for me, the most disappointing thing about this pack is that for anyone else who doesn't like Star Wars, there's nothing for us in this pack. And I think if you're going to release a pack that is so geared to one audience, at least make sure there's a couple things trickled in there for other people who don't like Star Wars, you know? I think the fact that the build and buy is so lacking, like, the thing is, it's not lacking. There's loads of pieces. I went through the build and buy and oh my gosh, you got so many new pieces, but none of them that you could use anywhere. Like, it has no versatility. It's all Star Wars themed, and like none of the items can be used in any other style of build. I know some people disagree with me on this. I have a lot of people who come into Twitch chat and tell me that they like Batu for the build and buy because they have quite industrial pieces and they use them in their modern builds, but for me, I don't like any of the build items and I don't like it. Same thing with the Bust the Dust. There is a multitude of reasons I don't like this pack. I think the best thing from this pack is that you can get dust bunnies because they can make you money on a rags to riches, which is very handy, but other than that, I don't really like the pack. Country Kitchen, on the other hand, is an absolute love it. This kit was amazing. So many beautiful build items, like, well, I mean, only build items. I loved everything that came with it. It was such a beautiful style. Like, that's such my style of a build. That pack is my style of building. Every item was stunning. I do wish there was more neutral swatches of the cabinets. There was very pastel swatches, but not many like neutral brown shades. And the only thing I have with this pack is that at the end of the day, I don't know how I feel about kits. And this is the hardest thing for me with kits, is that with build and buy kits, I can just get this as CC. So that's why I'm not putting it as need it, is because I don't think you need it in your game, because you can get it in other ways, like through CC. And this kit almost made me really enjoy kits. It made me kind of come around to the idea of kits, because it seemed like they put a lot of work and effort into this. So the reason that I bought this kit is because I don't use build and buy CC. I like my builds to be downloadable from the gallery, so I don't use build and buy. So I did use this kit a lot, and I really enjoy this kit, so it was worth it for me. However, the fitness throwback kit I haven't bought, so I'm going to rate it as no, just no, and I don't need it because I don't have it. So this is the easiest one for me. This is the only pack on this whole list that I don't own, and that's purely because I don't see the point in spending money on getting a few CAS items, because personally I use CAS CC. It just makes this pack very useless for me. I know for console players it's probably a really cool pack. Luxury Party I'm going to put as meh. Don't really like the items. I'm not a very luxury gal. Perfect Patio I'm going to put as okay. I think has some really good items. I really like the hot tubs. There's nothing that really stands out massively to me. But a lot of these stuff packs are kind of like they all merge together as one, and I kind of forget they're separate. Cool Kitchen I think is good. I really like the ice cream maker. I think we got a lot of new items, and I use the items in Cool Kitchen all the time. Spooky I'm going to put as meh. I think it gives you some cute items, especially if you have seasons. It could be cute to decorate your house for Halloween and stuff, but other than that, I don't really use the items all that much, and it's a bit meh really for me. Movie Hangout is love it for me. I love this pack. I love the bohemian style of the build items. I think they're absolutely stunning and beautiful, and I really like being able to watch films. I think being able to watch movies with your household is so cute. I really like how this pack enhances gameplay for me, and the build and buy items are beautiful, so easy love it for me. What is this one? Romantic Garden stuff, I think. Romantic Garden I'm going to put as okay. I think the items are really cute. I don't use them much, but that's a personal preference really. I don't like the style. However, I did do a build recently which was like a fairy tale cottage, and I used a lot of the Romantic Garden stuff then, and I think I realised like the pack itself is really beautiful, like the items are so stunning, but I just don't use them personally. Kids room stuff I think I'm going to put as good. I like this pack. It gave me a lot of new build and buy items, and if you're into building family homes I think it's worth getting. Backyard stuff I'm going to put as okay. It's an okay pack. It gives you some new items, but it's not really memorable to me, so I'm just going to leave it as okay I think. Vintage Glamour I'm going to put as meh. Not that big of a fan of Vintage Glamour. It's not really my style to build with. Bowling Night I'm going to put as good. For the same reason as Dine Out and Movie Hangout, I think it enhances gameplay, so I'm going to add this here. I think it's really cute. You could take your kids for like a birthday party, they could go to the bowling alley. Fitness stuff, meh. Never use it. I'm not that interested in it really. It's not my cup of tea. I don't really enjoy fitness, so I don't really want to make my Sims do it either. Toddler stuff I'm going to put as okay. The CAS for toddler stuff is beautiful. However, it has that dreaded ball pit, so I just can't rate it higher, I'm sorry. It does have a slide, it has some cute items, it has those pillows that I love to use in every child's room ever. Laundry Day I'm going to put as good. It's a good stuff pack. I really enjoyed using it. I really enjoy the items that came with Laundry Day. I think it's a really beautiful rustic style. However, it's bugged for me and it never works, so it kind of is annoying. But I do like the items it gave us. I think this was a solid stuff pack because it gave us a lot of new build and buy, but it also gave us like the gameplay of laundry. My first pet stuff I'm going to put as okay. I like this pack. Controversially, I use this pack quite a lot. Like, I like the build items that it came with. However, I can't rate it higher. It just shouldn't have been a pack. It should have been part of Cats and Dogs. We all know it. We all think it. It means I can't rate it any higher, even though I do like the build items that came with it. I don't think I've ever used the animals that came with it. I think you get like a hamster or something. I don't think I've ever used that, but I do like the build and buy items that came with it. I think they're very good for furnishing kids' rooms. Moschino pack I'm going to put meh. Again, I just don't like the style. I think the photography aspect that came with it was very cool, but I don't like the style of the build and buy, so I just don't use the items very much. All the modern packs are scoring really low for me. You could just tell my build style, I think, from this list. Tiny Living is a love. I love what it introduced, especially with the build options, like being able to make a tiny home, like having that build challenge challenge inbuilt into the game was so cool. I really, really love it, especially the lot traits you also get from having tiny homes. I just thought this pack was amazing. The build and buy was stunning. The sad thing about the build and buy is there wasn't actually many tiny home options. Like the furniture wasn't that much smaller, so it didn't save space all that much. Nifty knitting for me is only okay. Again, I would love to love this pack more, and I do love the knitting aspect of it, and I love the knitting skill and being able to make things and have your Sims like craft things. I think is really, really cool. However, to me it's very limited. Number one, the fact that it's just knitting and it's one skill is kind of not that great. Like, I think we should have got embroidery. I know we're getting embroidery with the new pack, which I'm really excited for. For me, it would have been so much cooler if it had several crafts added to it, not just knitting. And paranormal is an absolute need it, which again might be a bit controversial. It's not need it for anything but the build and buy. The floral wallpaper, that sofa, just stunning items, and therefore it's just a need it for me. I use those items all the time in so many of my builds. The gameplay is good, but I wouldn't play it all the time, and I'd play it once or twice and then probably be done with it. It probably should be lower in the list, but I'm just infatuated with the build and buy, so I'm just really biased towards it. Okay, and then for the two packs that aren't on the list, I would probably put Courtyard Oasis in good. I think this kit is absolutely stunning. I really love the style that it brought. I'm currently working on a build with it and I'm really, really enjoying it. And the interior decorator pack I'm going to put as need it. For me, this pack is really, really good, and if you just have base game and you want to start doing more building, I think this pack is so perfect for you, because I think it adds so much build and buy. So many beds. I think there was like 11 beds or something. I know that the career is currently really glitchy, which is annoying, but hopefully the bugs will get fixed eventually. I haven't tried the career myself, but the career does look really cool. So yeah, that is all the packs. I think there's my fully ranked list of all the packs in The Sims. Let me know what you think, how you think I did here, what you disagree with. Let me know. Of course, keep it kind and respectful in the comments, but let me know what you think and what you disagree with, what you would change. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.